Europe.
Very avian style.
Um, 6 a.m. this morning, the police called the
He could hear me?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live in West Grand Bahama. This live is going to be a touchy live. It's going to be an emotional live. Um, it's going to be very emotional. You're going to see some pictures, some videos. You're going to see investigation on the way, and that's continued. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, since the 30th of August, we've been investigating day and night to see what happened to our brother Lynx. And we're going to lay it out all out on the table today so that you can see what's going on and we can keep this in the public's eye because the initial report that went out to me was a careless report. And that report just said that this was an accident. And for you to just see what we saw at that scene and just say it was an accident without any further investigation, is a shame and it's disgraceful. And so today we're going to show some of the evidence from our investigations, not for you to come to any conclusion, but for you to see it, for the authorities to see it, and to make sure that it's not swept under the rug. And don't come to any conclusion based on anything that we see. Look at the evidence for yourself and even go to the scene. We've actually put, there's something there in honor of Lynx, a poster with his face and name so you can see exactly where it is, so that you can now go there for yourself and you can look at the scene, which is still in that state, and you can see for yourself. Many persons who we've spoken to in West Grand Bahama who's gone to the scene says that they don't know how in the world the police could look at that scene and say that that is just a car accident. And so I think a child could go to that scene and see that that is more than a car accident. And since that seems to be in the mindset or was in the mindset of those officers, I'm gonna put, like I said, some of what we have out there. I got permission from the wife of Lynx Jones to actually show the injury to his head. And so I have a permission and we're going to show it to you and you come to your conclusion on whether those injuries could happen during a front-on collision where there was no rollover. And so we're doing this not to make the police look bad, but to help them, because clearly they were not able to figure this out for themselves. We also interviewed a lot of people. I'm going to bring you up to date on all of that. The streets are talking. We've seen camera footage, and we're going to show you some camera footage of some of Lynx's last moments, where he was and what he was doing. I don't understand why the police has not gotten this camera footage. if they want it, just like we could find who was with Lynx and where he was, I don't understand why they can't do the same thing. And so we're going to show it to you, put it in the public domain, and then move on. All right. And so I've shared it on Facebook. And so please like and share. And if you could do those little likes that go up on the screen constantly while you're live, that would also help to confuse the algorithm, because whenever you have these types of lives, they like to block the algorithm. I'm also going to share this from YouTube. But again, we're not going to show his entire body, but just where the injuries are, because it might be too much for some people. All right. So, you know, in the beginning of my lives, I take the time to share. So just bear with me and give me a second while I do this and while you should be doing the same. Also today, we're going to talk, once we finish showing you the evidence that we do have, we're also going to talk about immigration, and our chairman is standing by to respond to Fred Mitchell. Yeah, that one. To respond to Fred Mitchell, and I am going to show some documents, etc., and show you how you should know that there are persons out there who have Bahamian passports unlawfully. All right. So we're going to show you how there are persons out there with Bahamian passports unlawfully. And we're going to show you irrefutable facts to show you that there are persons in our Bahamas with passports unlawfully. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about that US thing. We can play a little video from Luby Georges. All this if we get the time. Luby Georges needs to find his own country to go live in instead of trying to destroy ours. But we got a few months for that. But I'm going to play you a video from Luby Georges and show you again why this man is persona non grata to the Bahamas. I finished doing my part, so please do your part if you can and share. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be piecing through this. It's going to be very difficult for me, so I need you to bear with me. Plus, we have a producer that is actually running the show, so I'm going to have to instruct them on what to show you and when to show it to you. So we're going to walk through that. And so just bear with us as we go through what we have found. And this is going to be something else. All right. So I'm going to start with the first thing, and that is the report that was made by the officer in charge of traffic who was there. I'm going to start with that. We didn't get to upload the video into the system, so I'm just going to play it from here, and you can see it. But bear with me a sec. I'll get it for you right now. All right. So this is Officer Farquharson, who's in charge of traffic, and he is reporting to the public after going there and after they finish their investigation, so that now the yellow tapes are gone, the public can now have access to the place. This is the conclusion that they have come to so far at this time.
Traffic accident on Queens Highway. As a result, officers responded to the scene, and on arrival, they met one gold color lacrosse vehicle with extensive damages to the front end. Officers made a check of that vehicle and discovered a male inside the vehicle that appears lifeless. EMS responded to the scene and also made check of the body and reported that the body is lifeless. Our initial investigation at this time that this vehicle was heading west on Queens Highway when the driver somehow lose control and veered on the left side of the road and collided into a electrical utility pole. Yeah, sometime around.
Okay, that's their little report. All right. Um, and so when we went there, we saw something a little bit different from our layman eyes. I'm not necessarily a layman because I have police experience, but we saw something a little bit different. And so we're going to show you some of the things that we found. I want to thank everyone who is here with me. We have a full house. A lot of people are here in the back of me, in the front of me, outside as we do this. And I will thank all of you all for being here. And I want to give my deepest sympathies to the family of Lynx Jones who is watching this at this time. All of you, you continue to be strong. To those political trolls who are out there being mischievous, remember that the gentleman has young daughters who have access to social media, and what you are doing at Fred Mitchell's instructions and otherwise is not right. All right? It's not right. So I'm going to ask you to stop. Please. A Bahamian man has died. If it's just an accident, then so be it. Accidents happen. But if there's more to it, we're going to show you some more. All right? So we heard a lot of reports. We even heard reports about a black Jeep. If you watched my last live, that was there, a black police Jeep. We found a black police Jeep that had damage to the front. You can't prove that the damage was from that accident, but we're going to show you all of this stuff that we found at the scene. We're also going to show you Lynx, the last place Lynx was. Okay, let's get to it. Firstly, I'm going to show you the lampposts. You may not have got to see it last time. I'm going to show you the lamppost that was involved in the accident, and you're going to see that there was blood on the lamppost. So to Pole Blood 2, the image Pole Blood 2. I don't know how I'll see it. Black police jeep. Yeah, so I don't know if he's showing the image or not. I can't see from this end. So producer, if you can show us that. Oh yeah, you're showing it. No, Pole, the one that's named Pole Blood 2. Yeah, show us that one, please. I don't know if you could see the names of these documents. Well, right now, it looks like he is showing the tracks. I don't know if he's able to see what we're doing because he's broadcasting from another island, actually. Okay, he's showing the tracks at this time. Okay, now he has it. There it is. That one is called, yeah. So the image you're looking at shows that there was blood on the lamppost. And if there's blood on the lamppost and the person was in the vehicle, it is almost impossible. And I should have told you whether it's in file 1 or file 2. This one is in file 2. So when I need you to go to file 1, I'll let you know. It is impossible to get blood on that pole with the person in the car. The windshield did not break open. It was had some shattering, but there was no way to get blood there because the car was on top of that. And so that's very problematic for blood to be on there. And so if I had gone to a crime scene and seen that, I would have been suspicious, and that would have been suspicious to me. So I don't know if it's why it wasn't suspicious to them, but that's for them to investigate. We're paying them for that. I'm not going to show you the other poles. I want to show you there was more blood that was on the front grill of the car. So if you can go to the one that says grill, the one that says grill, let's go to that one. Yes, that one. And so that there's clearly blood on there. There's blood stains on there, as you can see. And there's no way blood could be on the front of the grill. That means that something happened outside of the car. All right. You can go to grill 2. So grill 2, you can also see another part. Yes, another part where you see there's blood, and all of this is the grill from the front of the vehicle. All right. And then so there's grills that where you have that issue. All right. And so that's problematic to me. All right. So what happened was there's also skid marks that shows that there was more than one car at the scene. So go to 4-track 6, and you will see where there's 2 sets of car tracks. And some people may assume that that's those cars that have 2 wheels. Well, one, that's too narrow to be those big cars that have the 2 wheels. And 2, those tire marks are too far apart. They are longer than the width of my hand apart. All right. I know it's hard to see that from a picture, but those are too far apart to be the wrecker tires, et cetera, et cetera. And we spoke to the wrecker driver, and he didn't drive that way. All right. So we can see where the wrecker drove because there was marks there as he was skidding to get stuff done. And we saw where the wrecker drove. This had nothing to do with that. This clearly shows that there were 2 cars, and one car was behind the other one, either pushing it or just pulling the side along with it, or something happened, but there was more than one vehicle. So that should tell you that this is not just an accident where someone fell asleep, etc., and ran into a lamppost. All right. And so I just wanted you to see the tire tracks. We have a lot more pictures with tire tracks, but I have to, for time, I have to cut through them. Now, there's something that happened. Initially, I guess they were saying that it was an accident. And so we assumed that he was getting the car back, which is the norm. And when he went to get the car on that Monday, they told him that, no, they're not going to give him it that Monday to come and see about it the next day or the day after that. And so he got a call to come down there, and we assumed that we were coming to bring to get the car. And so he brought his mechanic, and so we went there with him, and we were taken in the back of the yard. Police was there with us. When we went in the back of Central Police Station where the car was, there were no signs saying no trespassing or do not enter or authorized personnel only. No signs are there. We have evidence of that. And the gate is wide open. All right. So we weren't trespassing in any way. And there was no markings on the car or yellow tape around it saying that you shouldn't go near this car. And so obviously we could not have known that it was still a part of an investigation. And so we went to the car thinking that we came there to collect the car. And so there was some misunderstanding there. And as we actually did go there, and we did go in the vehicles. Again, it was just in a parking lot in the back of Central, and we had no idea that they were still investigating anything. So what we saw when we went in that vehicle, that they were still investigating anything. So what we saw when we went in that vehicle was shocking to us. The accident happened, we believe, Friday night, or Saturday morning, and this was Wednesday that we went there. And what's so shocking about that is that after watching my live, telling me that you turned it over to information over to CID, by Wednesday, you still did not dust the car for fingerprints or do anything. It appears that they didn't even go back in that car. Everyone knows, I mean, who watch TV, that the first 48 hours are important. The first 48 is important. And this was now Wednesday, and nothing that we could see had been done. They can correct that if I'm wrong. But when we went to the car, again, the car was kept in a slack way because there's nothing telling anyone to not come in the back there or anything. You can't read your minds. And when we went to the car and we opened the door, we saw that the amount of blood in the car was not synonymous with someone getting in a bad accident, bleeding out, and dying. There was very little blood in the vehicle. And that was disturbing. So again, it was disturbing to me that one, you could come on that scene and see that the injuries were to the back of the head. And we're going to show you that in a minute. To the back of the head. And you would say it's just an accident to the media. And then we were concerned that when you open the car and see a body in the car and not really any blood, but that isn't suspicious to you. There was a small bit of blood on the passenger side. I mean, it's small, like you could get more blood than that if you cut your finger. And then there's what appears to be blood in the trunk of the car. We'll get to all of that. All right? And so you got to go to the other file, the first file. Yeah, go to the other file and I'll tell you which one you should play. Go to the other file and go to passenger side. Go to passenger side and let that video play. And hopefully they can hear me while it's playing so I could walk them through it.
And then in the seat somewhere.
Yeah, as you can see, there's just a small little tidbit of blood on the doors. A small tidbit.
The spare
That's
tire that was
can you pause the video right there so I can explain that? Okay. That tire was out of the trunk and on the grass. That tire was out of the trunk and on the grass at the accident scene. Also, the covering of the cover that goes over the tire, which is the floor of the trunk, was outside and on the grass. And so the wrecker driver, which is normal, they take stuff, debris from the scene and put it in the car when it's a write-off like that, and they just carry everything in the car. They don't like to leave the debris or the scene. So what he did was, because it was closed and they couldn't open it to put the tire back in there, they just took the tire and put it right there in the front seat. And they did the same thing with the covering. All right. And so that's scene compromise. And so let it continue to play.
On the ground, the wrecker driver put it inside the car. There's blood on the passenger side.
So right there, you see that little bit, that small, tiny bit of blood on the seat right there. That small, tiny bit. No blood on the dashboard, no blood on the floors, no blood anywhere. And that small little, I mean, it's almost like a little stain of dried up blood right there. None on the back of the seat that we could see, none on the dashboard, no blood on the airbags, nothing. So it's almost like someone could not been in here and bled out. We know that in accidents you could have internal injuries too, but from you see that should cause some suspicion. And so go to the next video, which is driver's side. So look for the video on that same file that says driver's side. And so this was the owner vehicle looking in the vehicle, and we were filming. And so this one is called driver's side in that same file. So as you can see on the driver's side of the vehicle, there's no blood, none that we see. And you can look for yourself. There's some keys there. That's the electronic keys, you know, is a push button, which will normally be in his pocket. So we don't understand why that's on the seat, unless someone else took the keys and they were maneuvering that car. Because Lynx would always keep that key in his pocket because you can open the door by pressing the button without the key once you have the key on you. And so there's no way that that key should be there. All right. And so that's very curious. But as you can see, there's no blood on. This is the driver's side of the vehicle. The owner showed you the door and the seat and everything. You can see that there's no blood there. All right. And so that means that there's something else that happened. No blood on the back of the seat, the bottom of the seat, nothing. That's curious. And then this is the big one. You see where it is. On this side. Ooh. Just give me a sec, bear with me. I want to show you the trunk because the trunk has, okay, look for Lynx trunk. Lynx trunk, LYNX. And let's play that one.
You just to get
All
that
right.
open just now. The button on this guy.
So that's the owner talking. He had a battery in there that was connected with cables and they cut it.
I had a battery on that.
Batteries in the bush.
How'd I get cut?
Your small little battery?
Yeah, on that. The battery was
in
on
the
that.
bush.
Yeah, the battery. We
I
saw
still in the
they,
backyard with Lincoln.
they put the battery in the bush.
I can walk around the front side. Yeah, we can walk around. We coming up right now.
Is this blood in the back trunk?
Okay, well, let's go. Yo, let's go.
As you can see, it would appear to be blood in the trunk.
Look like blood in the trunk.
And so
You just to get that open just now.
that's
The button on this guy.
disturbing. It's difficult to open that trunk.
Why that cut?
Oh.
Why this cut? I had a battery on that.
Batteries in the bush.
And so blood is on
How'd I get
the left side
Your
of the
small little
trunk,
battery?
right
Yeah,
where
on
if you had
that.
placed someone in there where their head would be.
Yeah,
on
the
car.
battery. We
I
saw
still
They
in the
clearly
backyard
took
with
the
Lincoln.
wheel
the
out.
battery in the bush.
They took the battery out that was taking space and made a big space to put a big guy inside the trunk. So clearly he could have been in that trunk. All right. And so you come to your conclusion. How they could have after seeing all of this, because there's pictures of the police that I don't have time to play all the pictures with the police at the scene. We don't know how the trunk was open, but they had the trunk open. So if you had the trunk open and the police is there, you couldn't see that there's something that looks like blood in the trunk. Aren't you curious that the tire was out of the trunk? But when other first responders came, they said the trunk was closed and no one knew how to open it. Because that trunk has a special, the button for it wasn't working. So he put a cable behind the back seat, and you have to go to the back seat and pull that cable in order for the trunk to open. So if you don't know, only 3 people know how to open that. And so if you didn't know how to open that, it's very difficult. All right. So it's very curious. All right. Now we were investigating everything, and we had reports that there was a black police Jeep, the one with the grill, and they said the Jeep was parked up right against the back bumper of the rental car that was on the lamppost. Again, we don't know the truth to that, whether that is so or not, but that's from a credible witness. And they said one police person was there on their phone, texting or doing whatever, looking for a number, doing something on the phone. That's just a report, all right? And so we went looking for that police Jeep, and we found a police Jeep. It had some damage to it, but there's no way to confirm that that damage would have come from any recent accident, etc. But we're just showing it so that the public is aware that there is a black police Jeep. And so we don't have any evidence that that police Jeep or persons driving that did anything malicious, but we can show you the Jeep anyway. So go to the file, the same, and go to the file number 2, the other file, and look for police Jeep. Look for police Jeep in the other file. So the word is police Jeep. So again, the 8 Mile Rock police station has a police Jeep like that. And if you look carefully, there's some damage to the front of this Jeep, but it doesn't corroborate to me with the damage to the vehicle. And so I don't see much to it, but we're just putting that out there that there was a black police Jeep, and we went and we found it. It has damage to the front, and we don't know what that means. All right. So with that said, the injury is to Lynx Jones. I want to thank the person who provided this for us. When we were there, they told us not to take any. They asked us, if we could not take any pictures or videos. But we want to thank the person who provided this. Because otherwise, you wouldn't have any proof of anything. And so I want you to show the picture that says Lynx injury. And so that's Lynx, and I don't know how close up we could get this, but he has a circular injury to the top of his head. And there's no way to get a circular injury to the top of his head in that kind of accident. All right. That's a head-on accident. And also in the back of his head, he has similar injuries. And also his head is severely swollen in areas. All right. And so to the back of his head, you can see they put a bed pad on there, like the blue bed pads that you put on the hospital beds underneath his head, because it doesn't bleed out there, or the blood stains. But in the back of his head, you can see the brain swelling. There's no injury to his face. All right. Just that injury to the top of his head. There's nothing in that car that could have injured the top of his head like that. And that circular injury right there in the zoom, that's injury to the top of his head. And then the back of his head is swollen and has other injuries just like that. All right. And as you can see to the back left side, you can see the swelling there. Someone hit it repeatedly in his head. Over and repeatedly to the back of his head. And then they went on the news and say, it's just a car accident.
Oh, Jesus.
His face is normal, no cuts, no bruises. It's just like my face. His face is in perfect condition. Even airbags cause damage to your face. If you get hit with an airbag, you could get cut, scratched, burned. All kind of things happen when your face hits an airbag. There's no injury to his face. And so for police to come on that scene and see injury to the back of someone's head and on the top of their head, in the ground, and then say this is just a traffic fatality, something wrong. Now, before I show the videos of his last moments and the people he was talking to, and a suspicious transaction in a bar with a cup that he was drinking out of, guys, y'all saw this stuff. That looked like an accident to y'all?
Why did they rope? Just gonna find them.
And so we are continuing to investigate. Someone says get a private investigator. You don't seem to understand who's sitting in front of you.
Right there, right there.
But ladies and gentlemen, we were trying to track everywhere the Lynx could do. After we did our last live from the funeral home, we heard that the police CID actually went to a couple of people and talked to a couple of people. And I assume that it's because it looked bad that they didn't interview anybody. And so they went out there to do it. And the reason I said it is because they actually took witness statements from them. So they went to one bar where Lynx stopped, to hail, I guess. And on that morning. And they questioned the owner and they took a statement from him. Normally, when you just investigate, you just talk to them and that's that. But they took a statement. I think they're trying to take a record to make sure that there's a record that they were doing their job. And that's fine. But we want you to actually do your job. All right? And so, the streets were talking to us, giving us information. So every time the police talk to someone, the person's telling us. All right. So we know everywhere that the police are spoken to and where they've gone or where they've not gone. And if we know that, the people out there know that. So if there's a suspect out there, it's just gonna be difficult the way it's happening. But I can tell you that the people who have cameras, I've spoken to all of them, and all of them have said the police haven't even asked them to see their cameras.
Wow.
And so we have spoken to persons who were in direct contact with Lynx on that night, and the police hasn't even reached out to them. And so we're gonna play you some videos from that night. We have a lot more, but we just can show you a couple highlights from all of this. All right. Now, we're not assuming that anyone in these videos is guilty. We don't know. We're just showing you the persons who he had interactions with, and maybe finally the police will be able to see where they need to go and who they need to go to. All right. There was a young lady that Lynx had, some interaction with that we had heard about, and we can't say she did anything wrong or anything. But we went to speak to her, and she basically said she didn't know who that was, and like she couldn't remember that. But then when we went to look at the video camera, she had long conversation with him. They had friendly conversation for a very long time. And but she made it seem like she didn't know who in the world that was. And she could be right. You know, I can't, judge anybody, but Lynx is a very memorable person because he's a big guy and because of who he is. And you know what? I don't want to expose that young lady. I'm gonna not play the video with Lynx talking to her, although I have a video with him. I mean, them two in deep conversation, and I have other witness testimony. But I'm gonna leave that. I don't want to expose her. But there's a transaction where that looks kind of funny, and so we're gonna put it out there because the police should really be doing this, but we're doing their jobs, right? Um, Lynx went in the bar and he had a drink, one drink. All right. I don't know what he drank, but he had one drink. Now the bartender prepared his drink. Lynx was distracted. Someone called him and was talking to him and kind of distracted him. And the bartender took the drink and put it in front of this guy who was sitting next to down the counter from where Lynx was. That guy, it was in front of him. We don't know what he did to that drink, but it looked like some action going on. The bartender walked away, leaving the drink in front of that guy, leaving Lynx drink in front of that guy. Lynx knows that guy. And that guy is kind of connected to someone who had threatened Lynx a few weeks ago. All right. Again, not implying anything. This is just circumstantial and how things look. But it's better to put it out there. The bartender then came back to where the drinks was left in front of that guy, and then came and held the drink and called Lynx, who was standing right there, like 3 feet away, but talking to someone. And she was holding the drink as if it was important to make sure you're not holding your drink. But the drink was just left in front of someone else and you'd walked off, but now you're holding it. And then when she got Lynx's attention, she put it down and then he came to the drink. We're going to show this transaction from 2 angles. Again, I'm not saying anyone is guilty of anything, but I think it's something that we should pay attention to. If someone was going to fight Lynx or do something to him, I think drugging him might be one of the things that you would want to do because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
So, producer, play drink. Play that video that says drink. Yeah, producer, play the one that says drink in the second file. As you can see, that's the drink. She walks over to that side of the bar. I'm not saying anyone did anything wrong, but it's just look at it. And then she takes that same drink and you see the drink is being prepared. Walks over there with the drink. And then take the drink and put it in front of this guy that's right to the corner of your screen now. You can see half of his body in the white shirt, but it looks white on this black and white thing. And then she leaves the drink and walks back this way. She left it in front of that guy. And you can see he is shuffling around and doing whatever. The drink is in front of him. And then she comes back, takes up the same drink, and then beckons to Lynx, who is right there on the right out of the screen view. And she's standing there with the drink for Lynx to come for the drink. And so she puts it down now because he notices it, and Lynx is gonna walk up. Lynx is gonna walk up right now, sit down. There he is. Sit down and drink the drink. This is sometime after 1 in the morning, I think. And so around 1:30 or so. And so he picks up the drink and drinks it. Again, I don't think that bar lady did anything wrong. I mean, it did anything to his drink, but I would not, if I'm a bartender, put someone's drink in front of someone else. I wouldn't do that. And then walk off. So I don't understand what that mistake is. And that person was handling some white hand towel or something that it was in front of. So we're going to show you it from another angle. And this angle, go to drinks too, and you'll see the same transaction, but from another angle behind the person that you couldn't see before. So that person sitting there is the person you couldn't see who was like kind of behind the fridge. So here you can see where she walks up, puts the drink down. There it is. The drink has been put down. And she walks off and leaves the drink there. And this guy is fiddling and doing whatever. Yeah, he's fiddling and with the drink. And she came back here and moved the drink at that point and then called Lynx for his drink. And you see the guy has some white thing in his hand. Now, there was a hand towel on top of his beer bottle. But we don't know, and we want the police to investigate. All right. And so that's where she thought Lynx comes over because Lynx was there talking to him. So he had him distracted and he was trying to walk up and the person stopped him again. But the person had him distracted and now Lynx walks over to the drink, but she never should let anyone give him a drink that he doesn't see. But now he's going to drink that drink. And so we have other footage of actually when he walks out of there, when he leaves. Again, there's more to it. I'm not gonna say everything in here. But based on everything we're seeing with all of the tire tracks, with the blood on the lamppost, what appears to be blood in the trunk, with blood on the front and the grill. I don't think much of that that black Jeep that we saw. Um, uh, you know, with the injuries that you just saw, how could they say that this is a traffic accident? That's shameful. That's shameful. That's shameful. Yeah. Somebody saying that that's a napkin. Yeah, we can see that's a napkin, but a napkin could have something in it. That, because you're holding it with your hand, you could be coughing. We look at it again. We don't know that happened, but we just want it to be properly investigated. That's all. All right. We're not implying anything to anyone. All right. There's some of the things that we saw. I'm going to leave it there. We have a bunch of other videos here, but I think it's best if I leave that there so that we can see what the police is going to do. But this needs to be investigated properly because the whole man was clearly murdered, and you had the police saying that there was a traffic fatality. So we're praying for his young teenage daughter who's not taking this well at all. We're praying for his other two daughters who are also not taking this well. We're praying for other members of his family who are devastated. We're praying for his political brothers and sisters who are also devastated. So, so all of you in here, does anyone in here think that this was even remotely just a traffic accident?
No. No, sir. Steve was there. Steve was there. Steering wheel, or windshield, can't put them cuts, the back of the head, or on top, because of blood, that's no chest. Tire wrench, some steel.
Tire wrench, hammer, something circular hit him in the top of his head.
Exactly.
And he had other bruises to the back of his head and swelling to the back of his head.
Repeatedly. Yes.
All right, he was hit repeatedly. And so
Show that's murder.
No, but it's clean.
Let's just say Lynx was driving the car, right? He was driving the car. How is it that the engine of the car is in the driver seat? A big man like him and Lynx got out of the driver's seat with him. He should have broken legs. But he was able to come out of the driver's seat and then seat himself comfortably into the passenger seat.
That's a good for me.
That right there is suspicion.
So, take him with the passenger seat. That's crazy.
what did it for me is the fact that police saw that and didn't think that that was suspicious. And then it was slow to start an investigation. That's what did it for me. Why is it so slow? I only know that police move slow like that when it's someone connected, involved, or someone big time, and they're very secretive and you know, maybe someone related to someone, or that doesn't make sense. Or maybe it was planned. That's the only time they move slow like that. You know, outside of that, they should want to look like good investigators. Like, hey, this looks like an accident, but guess what we found? The injury is not consistent, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And it would make them look good. Like the public would say, wow, they figured that out?
Trust our police force.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yes, yes.
But also, it took about 2 hours, we are told, to even call ambulance. You hear him there saying the EMS came. All right? But he didn't say when they came. We heard it took them 2 hours to call, not for them to come, to call.
Wow.
I mean, already know that's a long drive from Iran, Freeport.
But did an ambulance ever came is the question we want to know.
I was told 2 stories. One was that didn't come, but then I heard that ambulance did eventually come.
Okay.
But it was a long time after they discovered him. I'm told that his body was a little bit pale, like the oxygen had already gone out of him. Like this didn't just happen. And if you really look at that picture again, clearly you can see that he is like a little whitish, palish kind of in the picture. Not the rich, dark, oily skin that you would normally see him with. That was very curious.
It's a need there, way before the time of the accident.
So clearly something happened to Lynx, and all of this is just loose assumptions, and police has to do their investigation. Something happened to Lynx. He was attacked. It clearly was attacked. Because I don't think he would hit himself like that. They put him in the trunk, drove him to the scene, probably took him out the trunk, leaned him against that pole somehow. And while they were thinking, they set up what they needed to set up, stage what they needed to stage, moved him on the side, crashed the car, and then put him in the car. Because there's not enough blood in there, based on the injuries he does have to the back of his head and the top of his head, that clearly would have bled badly. So, based on what we're seeing, That, no. And so, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot that we didn't show publicly. I am going to leave it right there. There's other persons that he was in contact with right before he died, but we are getting to the bottom of this. We don't want to reveal everything, but the people we spoke to today, yesterday, etc., all of them said the police didn't talk to them. This video footage we have, the police don't have that. How could the police not have that? That is so easy. I mean, we got it.
What an easy thing.
No hassle.
No hassle.
In fact, the person is very cooperative.
And so we want to know why they seem to be doing this halfway. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's more, but we can leave that right there for now. There's some suspects, and we can leave it right there for now. To the young lady who said she didn't see Lynx, didn't know Lynx, we have you on video talking to Lynx and leaving. We investigated every angle of this. We're not saying you did anything wrong. We can't say that. All right, but you did clearly lie. Yeah. And I don't know why. All right, so I don't like when the authorities expose persons they suspect and put them on posters, and then that cause people to be suspicious of them, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm not gonna show this video with you on it, although persons here have seen it, and I'm gonna leave that right there. All right. So with that said, we're gonna move on to another topic, and then we go open the phone lines, and we're gonna have more of a discussion. That was hard. But based on the evidence that's right there in front of your faces, this is not an accident. And if they say that this is an accident, you've seen the injuries for yourself, shown with permission of the wife. You've seen some of the car tracks. You've seen the blood on the lamppost, et cetera, et cetera. This isn't adding up. We can leave it right there. All right? We can leave it right there. All right, so we're gonna now talk about immigration. And we're gonna talk about our passports and the situation where our passports are being sold like candy. All right? So Fred Mitchell, we're talking to you. It's still a rough day for us, so bear with us. But Fred Mitchell, we're talking to you. Because you are supposed to be safeguarding our passports, but you are busy talking other nonsense and trying to distract the people. Our country's under invasion. We can fix that. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce to you our chairman, who's going to introduce this topic. She's going to introduce this, and then I'm going to finish it with some documents, etc. All right? And then show you the law and the facts. And then you come to your conclusion on whether our passports are going to the wrong people. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the COI, Ms. Charlotte Green.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Bahamas. Good afternoon to all my COI family. Good afternoon to all of my COI family. Ladies and gentlemen, this whole week has been a very difficult week for us all. especially to the family and friends of Lynx Jones. Again, we just want to give our condolences to his family members, all of his close friends, to all of the COI family. Have my condolences. I know how it feels. Lynx is family. Lynx was family. And watching that video, the last video of him in that bar wearing the COI shirt, the COI hat, it's very heartbreaking to know that people can be that cruel in this country, and the police can be so slack with their investigation. And with this being directly on our front door, it shows us and it tells us, it gives us a very big story of all the crime and the accidents and alleged suicide that happens in our country. We will never look at crime the same way after what we have just seen. And to be quite honest, I have lost trust within our government and within the system that was designed to protect and to serve. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to address the topic of immigration along with my leader, Mr. Lincoln Bain. And like Mr. Bain said, this is going to be difficult because we are all still in mourning. There was a press release on August 26, 2005, from the permanent secretary. The permanent secretary wrote the commissioner of police, I guess based on Fred Mitchell, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Foreign Ministry notes the allegations made by the COI chairman, Charlotte Green, that the ministry is selling passport like candy. The permanent secretary has written to the commissioner of police to make the police aware of the allegations and cause an investigation to begin. Perhaps Ms. Green will exercise her patriotic duty and share the evidence she has in her possession and to support her claim. If she cannot, the country will know the allegations are bogus. My fellow Bahamians, we have been seeing for years now, hearing, seeing, experiencing for years now, decades of evidence concerning what is going on in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs along with other ministries concerning passport fraud allegations, work permit scandals. If we take a close look, the evidence is all around us. Minister Mitchell is saying that my warnings or my statement is bogus, but the fact says otherwise. All we have before us are information. All we have to do is take a close look at the information that is provided. It wasn't Charlotte Green that posted inside the newspaper or the Tribune that 6 people were accused of using fraudulent documents in order to obtain Bahamian passport. It wasn't Charlotte Green that says audit uncovers passport fraud. The information is all around. They told me to produce my information or my proof, but the proof is all around, ladies and gentlemen. The proof is all around us. And we are going to, because it seems like they don't know how to do their investigation, because it appears as though they don't know how to properly investigate, we will just submit this for their purposes. You know, the fact that our leaders can get up on, can present themselves on national TV, on the national platforms, radio, and say that we don't have an immigration problem. But we have the US, we have FBI and undercover agents currently, previously and currently investigating our own country because of immigration fraud, because of all of things they have been seeing. What the government is telling us, the government basically is telling the Bahamian people, that we are, what is the word that Fred Mitchell uses? That we are idiots. We are all idiots. That's what they are trying to say. We can see that the sky is white. The clouds are white, but they are telling us it's black. We can see that it's white. My fellow Bahamians, Fred Mitchell can take the time to address my voice notes in slanderous way, unprofessional ways, but he has yet to put out an official statement regarding regarding the fact that the U.S. Embassy has put out for their consulate to handle visas for the Haitian nationals to come into the Bahamas. He has yet to put out a press statement, which leaves the Bahamian people to speculate. And this is the problem that we have in our country. One, there is no freedom of information. Therefore, when the Bahamians speak out, the Bahamians are told that they are ignorant, that they lack knowledge. But our government does things and they keep the people lacking because of the information. We have to do something about this. We really have to stand up. And the point I want to make is, Fred Mitchell, you're losing position. And it's unprofessional. Our sovereignty is under attack. Our nation is under attack, and you have no answers for the Bahamian people. Right now, the Bahamian people are looking for answers. And guess what? There is nothing coming from you. Nothing whatsoever. The Bahamian people needs answers. So I'm going to state this for you. I was going to put it in a voice note for you, Mr. Mitchell. But the Bahamian people deserve answers on the U.S. visa processing policy. It's amazing that we had to hear this from the media. So the Coalition of Independence expresses deep concern over the recent decision by the United States government to designate Nassau as the new visa processing hub for Haitian nationals. And this is effective November 1st, 2025. And a lot of people have issues with this because this is the first time we're hearing it. And this decision has major implications concerning our national security, our already overpopulated immigration system, and the social stability of this country. The Bahamian people needs answers. And we want to know, where is the government's voice in all of this? Because you are completely silent concerning this. Was the Bahamas consulted? Who is going to pay the cost? Who is going to manage these foreigners coming in and out of our country, or even if they will be leaving when they enter? Who is going to manage all of this? These are the questions that the everyday Bahamian wants to be aware of, especially based on what we are faced with in our country concerning immigration. We also want to know what safeguards are going to be put in place. Fred Mitchell and to the Davis administration, you are not governing animals. You are governing human beings. You're governing tax-paying citizens. You are governing Bahamians, professional Bahamians. I don't care what level of society that they are on, where they are from, what they practice as religion. You are governing Bahamians, Bahamians that put you in place to govern in their best interests. So hopefully when you put out your voice note tomorrow morning, your voice note speaks to the matter at hand, because the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, what we see going on in our country, our people truly needs answers. Mr. Bean?
Thank you, Ms. Green. I appreciate that professional response to that very unprofessional man who's supposed to be a diplomat and supposed to be a leader in this country. and who was one of the persons overseeing the destruction of this country for quite some time. I will tell you that my biggest concern for this is that we are making it hard for Bahamians because of our association. It is going to get more and more difficult for Bahamians to get visas. You'll all remember some years ago in the 80s and early 90s, Bahamians used to get indefinite visas. That means visas that just go on and on and on. It wasn't a 10-year limit. It was just a visa that kept going. But of course, we started allowing other persons to come in our country and to use the back door, and we ignored it. But other officials from other countries, they investigate these things, and they can see when you're doing skullduggery. And while they don't expose things, what you start to see is them taking action to protect themselves. And so, what's the first thing you saw? You saw our indefinite visa get taken away. All right, and I put it to you that a part of the reason is because we started mixing, and the corruption with our passports, etc. Now you're seeing the visas getting more expensive because of persons from countries like Haiti, etc., that that they have problems with. But the problem, these people have been coming to our country to get there also. And so now we're in the same boat as them. And I put it to you that if this continues, we are going to end up just like Haiti and Jamaica and other countries that find it difficult to get visas. It's getting more and more difficult. More and more people are being denied visas. Bahamians right now are being denied visas. They're making it more and more difficult. And while persons are complaining, you're not understanding why. If your country is letting these other people come in, and an American knows what you're doing, even though your officials are ignoring it, they're gonna take action. You remember during Dorian, Trump made a statement. He said, "We love Bahamians. We want Bahamians to come in. We'll just let them come in, but we're not gonna just let them come in without proper documentation, et cetera, because they have some other people who come to the Bahamas who may be some bad guys, and we don't want them in our country."
Right.
He did say that.
So because of who we allow in and associate with, it's becoming difficult for us. This is just a reality, y'all. So we have to get this together. While our politicians are Bahamians and you love to see Bahamians making money, politicians shouldn't be making money fleecing the Haitian population, selling them passports and work permits and visas, et cetera, et cetera. Our politicians should not be making money by selling our birthright. That is not right. And it's been happening. We have seen the visa scandals. We've seen them. We've seen the passport scandals. Again, what is it, 2 weeks ago, 3 persons were taken before the courts for passport scandals. We've seen this. Don't you think America sees this? Did you see the last set of people that were arrested in America? And we spoke to, I think it was the Coast Guard that had something to say about it. They interviewed this person from, I think it was the Coast Guard or some official. Don't hold me to it. I'm going to let the producer play that video for you so you can hear what their mindset of the Bahamas is. Play the video in the first file called Bahamas Imig Week. Yeah, I think it was a sheriff. Bahamas Imig Week. Play that one. They know that persons are getting papers like crazy, don't you? Just the signal is weak. We're being blocked now. The live was smooth all this time. But I'm just gonna repeat it. They know that we are weak. They know that people are getting work permits, visas, passports, etc. They know what's going on. They know it. So what do you think is gonna have to happen to us? They weren't even gonna let our students go back to school. Are y'all gonna wake up at any point, Bahamas? Your students were going to be stopped from going to school. They weren't doing any interviews. Why? Because they need to get immigration under control. And so, ladies and gentlemen, oh my God, we are in a crisis. We are in a crisis. And we got to stand up. This is the only country we got. We got to stand up. So I want to play another video. And this video is from Luby Georges. This is from Luby. All right? Luby Georges says that he went back to Haiti. That was the perfect time for Brave to stop Haitians from coming back in the country and to stop our Bahamas Air flights. That was the perfect time. But Brave missed that opportunity. Luby Georges said he went back to Haiti and he came back on September 1st. And he put out this video before America put out this video that they were letting the Haitians come to Nassau to process their visas. But watch what he says. And the whole news media missed this because I guess they could only say what they have permission to say. Basically, Luby Georges is saying that this been happening. Luby Georges is sitting here saying that from Biden put his policies in place about 4 years ago, the Haitians been coming to Nassau to process their visas. The Haitians been coming to Nassau to do it. He's saying they just choose which MC they want to go to, so they choose the Bahamas, and then they do their visas there. So for the government saying, oh, they're not going to allow this, they're going to do this and that, they've been allowing it. But now that it came to the forefront, and I think the United States intentionally announced it so that it could come to the awareness of the people, and I want to thank the United States for doing that. I think they announced it, but Luby is making it clear, which is he's saying the truth. Brave them been allowing it. Now they're putting out press statements to make it seem like, oh, we're going to ban Haitians from coming just to do visas. After 4 years? 4 whole years? Let's hear what Luby has to say, and then we'll continue. So the video is Luby on flights. Luby on flights.
But if we're going to deal with the migration issue or the immigration issue, we're going to have to sprinkle somewhere in there facts and the truth.
Hold on, pause.
I myself...
Man is saying, sprinkle the truth in there. Not tell the truth. Just put a little sprinkling of truth with all the lies, I guess. Like what they did with that book that they put out. We got the video on that too. In fact, we have the last copy of that book that Pintard and Luby and Fred Smith and all them put out, lying on the Bahamas. And I say Pintard because he's associated with them, being associated with Save the Base. All right? And so that, he said, just sprinkle some facts and truths in there. So you heard him say it. So let's hear his sprinkling of facts and truths. Go ahead, producer.
For personal reasons, 2 weeks ago, and today is the 1st of September, so do the math. 2 weeks ago, was in Haiti for 3 days. Traveled to Haiti. On that flight, the majority of people, Haitian nationals, including Bahamians, Bahamian of Haitian descent, whatever, but they are Bahamians, that traveled to Haiti. Many of those individuals were going for holidays, for vacation, for visiting family members, and a lot went for the traditional festivals that were happening in certain zones. Those festivals or parties that were happening and that has been happening for the past few months. And so as we see those flights going in and out and coming in to the country, you have persons who are snapping pictures and snapping videos and saying, photos coming in. The fear mongering, it is ridiculous right now in our country. It is ridiculous right now in the Bahamas. I came on a flight on the 23rd
Now,
of
Luby is saying
August.
that Bahamians are seeing flights full of foreigners coming into our country, of these immigrants coming into our country and saying that we are fear mongering because we are pointing it out. In other words, we should shut up, don't believe our lying eyes, and don't say nothing. Let them come in. Because if you see a bunch of these people coming from a country that is in dangerous right now, that has been blocked by the Turks and Caicos, who is experiencing a crime wave because of them, who is now blocked by America, if we as Bahamians see our flag carrier being used to bring these people in, and other carriers, it's not just Bahamas Air, every day they're coming in, that Bahamians shouldn't say nothing. You all just sit down and you all, because if you say something, we can call your names, we can call you xenophobic, and we can say you're fear-mongering. This is our country. If Haitians see a bunch of people flooding their country all of a sudden, they could take note. They've taken action on many occasions. They didn't want the UN coming in there because they feel the UN caused, the peacekeepers caused cholera at one time, and they refused to let them sleep. All right? They took action. They didn't wait for their government to take action. They took action. You see any UN peacekeepers there now? All right? So don't tell us what to do with our country. Don't tell us how to see what we see. If you sitting down in your house and you just see a bunch of people coming in your house, you have a right to ask questions. That's not fair mongering. I don't know, well, who you all are? Where are you going? I was in Spanish Wells and I was walking to the ferry dock. And a lady stopped and she picked me up. A lady, she stopped. Okay, that's nice. That's family island. That's how they live. But she asked me some questions. What are you doing here on a Sunday?
Very good.
That's their island. Not the whole Bahamas is all our own, but that's their island. Some people, they see you in their neighborhood, what you doing through here? This is a dead end. It's a cul-de-sac. Who you know through here? That's responsible. That's responsible. So please don't let Luby Georges and them with their lies, etc., him and Michael Pintard and Fred Smith and them with their deception, let them fool y'all. All right? I just wanted to point that out. Now he's going to tell you what they experienced when he came back from Haiti and how they separated the lines and who was on these lines. Listen carefully. Go ahead, producer.
The Bahamas. When we got at the airport here in Nassau, there was a line for, even though they decided to place everyone that came on the Haiti flight, whether you were Bahamian, whether you are a tourist, whether you are a returning resident, it doesn't matter. Everyone had to go on a particular line. And while on that line, the immigration officers did something in requesting to separate everyone. So they said, returning residents, work permits, and that sort of thing, yada, yada, one section. Citizens and permanent residents, there was another little line in the middle. And then there was a line for, they were asking who's coming in on visas and, you know, as tourists and that sort of thing. And they placed those persons on a particular section also. The visa people, the tourist people, there was only about 4. Only about 4. The Bahamian citizens and permanent resident persons was a little bit more, but still less.
So he said the persons on tourist visas was about 4 people. So the flights normally come in with about 140, definitely over 130, but 140, depending on which jet it is, right? He said about 4 of them came on tourist visas. And he said a little bit more than that was the returning Bahamian citizens like him who have papers, right? The paper Bahamians. So let's say that's 4, he said, had visas. Is he trying to justify something now, right? So let's say double that was the citizens. So that's 10, right? Let's say we say it's 10 of the people like him and 4 with visas. How much that is? 14? 14. So let's say 140 minus 14. That's 126. How much? 140 minus 14. 126, right? So you mean to tell me 126 people were coming on work permit? Work permit? That's what Luby just said to us. That he experienced. He said they separated the lines, you heard him. That's how he know who is who. The permanent residents and citizens over here. The citizens, the work permits over here and the tourist visa over there. So that's how this lying young man know what is what. All right. Now he put the permanent residents in 2 lines. Right? But if you listen to it again, that's when you lie, you gotta remember what to say. But let's go by his, yeah, he's sprinkling the truth in there. Let's go by his theory. 100, he is saying 126 people come on work permit. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Luby saying that's what he witnessed. 3 times a week on Bahamas Air, and every day on those other flights that come from Haiti with the smaller planes. Every day. That's what Luby's saying to y'all, and y'all ain't listening. What job they getting? Where they going to work? 120 times 3 is what? Yeah, I just make it easy maths for y'all. 120 times 3? That's 360. Jesus. So that's 378 persons. 378 persons. Hold on. That's just work permit according to Luby. To take jobs every week. Where are they going to work?
They put on jobs.
Where are they going?
All through the construction field, all through domestic fields, all across
where are they going? Now you see why America is concerned?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Luby words. Now let's listen to some more of Luby words. I know this live going on long today, but we have 2 things to cover. All right. Now we're gonna hear him talk about the embassy. So this is gonna be proof, according to Luby, that this been going on. Brave them trying to make it seem now that they are now gonna be not letting them come in just for that purpose, but they've been coming in for that purpose. And we all know that if they coming in, they're not gonna say they're coming just to get visa. So it's like Brave them just think we're stupid. Like just tell them anything. Make sure you have on a coat, suit, and a tie when you say it, they could just believe you. Anything you say could be true to them. Your tie is gonna do it. And like they just think that Bahamians are the conch. Like we don't know that they could just come in and say, "I just come in to visit." It's a tourist visa. Right. They don't have to have a justification. It's a tourist visa. We are a tourist nation. Let's play Luby on the U.S. Embassy, that video.
We have a situation in Haiti where the U.S. Embassy has been closed for quite some time now. And the closest U.S. embassies available are, for example, the DR, Nassau, and I don't even know about the U.S. Embassy in Cuba or somewhere else.
Closed for a long time.
This is
He
one of
says
the
the U.S.
closest.
Embassy has been closed for a long time now, quite some time now. He is correct. That's the sprinkle of truth he put in there with his lies, right? Closed for a long time. Why hasn't our embassy been closed for a long time? Remember when we went out there to the Prime Minister's office to protest? They closed it for a minute, and then they opened it right back after it died down. All right? We know that the persons who was over there that they had there, we know the names, didn't even leave. Some of the leaders, not the staff and defense office, some of them stayed to make them deal. All right? Why isn't our consulate closed? How are these people getting the documents to apply for a visa when the government is dysfunctional? How? How can you trust their documents when the government is dysfunctional? How could you let these people, these gangsters have taken over, they are using the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, they can get documents however they want and enter our country and become a risk for our neighbor to the north, America.
Okay.
So they've been closed for some time. Remember, we forced the government, and in fact, some of us still on bail because we stood up for this country. Pintard now saying he won't talk about immigration because he knows it's a hot button issue. But we don't get locked up for this. Some of us in this room still on bail because we decided to stand up for this country and this immigration situation. That's how serious we are about this. We're not playing with that. We did more than our 48 hours in a jail cell to stand up for this. They told me one social media fella said the other day, who is speaking out with this immigration issue? We ain't just talking this. We didn't sacrifice our freedom. Our freedom is still sacrificed because we can't do what we want to do, how we want to do it. Some of us still on bail. And you gonna ask who's serious about this? You gonna ask that? We didn't get locked up twice on this immigration issue. Twice. And you gonna ask who's serious about this? We've already forced the government hands on several issues to stop doing work permits from Haiti. They did it for a short period of time to stop our flights. They did it for a short period of time. Come on, man. Let's continue to hear what Luby Georges has to say, but I just wanted you to note the U.S. embassy, they have all that power and strength. They got a huge, I think their embassy in Haiti is bigger than the one in the Bahamas. It very well could be. All right. And they got, strength. They could keep that open if they want to. They shut that down. But our government is keeping it open because persons are making money under the table from it. And like, what's his name? What's the Smith man name? The MP for West Grand Mama.
Kingsley.
Yeah, Kingsley. Everyone doesn't forget his name because we don't even see him around here. Yeah, you Kingsley. Kingsley said that dealing with Haiti is a lucrative business for the Bahamas. Yeah. But he don't mean for the Bahamas, he mean for the corrupt politicians. Let's hear what Luby have to say.
Or has one of the closest U.S. embassies. Remember there was this program called the Biden program, the
Biden program?
Family Reunification Program, and some others, where family members and friends can sponsor their loved ones from the United States to come in and to be with them so that they can reside legally in the United States. Part of that process requires them to have some medical exams done by some U.S. State Department accredited medical facility. Part of that program requires them to have an interview done, and there's certain documents that they will have to present at a U.S. embassy. And their sponsor, the person that is living in the United States, no matter where, what state, the person that is living in the United States can choose, can request that their case be seen or be heard, that the individual be interviewed at a particular U.S. embassy. They can choose the Bahamas embassy. And as they choose the Bahamas embassy, they would now have to make application for a Bahamas tourist visa to enter the Bahamas so that they can come and go to our accredited medical facilities and pay up to the tune of $900 and something, $900 odd, and then do some blood works to pay at a lab on Collins Avenue to pay some more money, and then be able to go to the U.S. embassy, have their interviews done for their DS-260 and their, sponsored applications that will be heard at the U.S. embassy. So all of those individuals, as they're trying to leave their countries and their families are trying to get them to the United States, they're applying for them to attend their appointments at the U.S. Embassy, Nassau, Bahamas. A lot of them. And so they will have to fly on the Bahamas Air and other airlines to get here to the Bahamas to go and attend those interviews. So while we see the flights are being filled and this sort of thing, and people are coming in droves, and they're coming in on visas and they're requesting and receiving approvals for their visas, it's because their sponsors are assisting them. It's because they're paying the government. It's because they're presenting the requisite documents, and they are presenting the U.S. Embassy appointment documents. They are presenting the medical facility appointment documents here in the Bahamas. They're presenting all of the documentational proof to say that I'm coming to the Bahamas for the sole purpose, the sole reason. So we see the planes, we see the droves of people coming in, but we don't understand. But because we want to knock, because we want to create and to hold on to this narrative and say that the Haitians are coming, they're taking over, all of the problems are because of the Haitians. They're coming in to vote, they're coming into this, they're coming into that. Nah. You see the line. You see the people coming in, but you don't know why they're coming in. You don't know who they are. Did you do a test? Did you interview them? But people are just posting the picture, new voters coming in. Just fear-mongering. It is very dangerous. Try to get the facts. Understand the situation before we push the BS.
So that demon right there with his voodoo beads on, is trying to say that the reason those flights were coming into this country, Ms. Green is still there, thank you. It's coming into this country full is because they was coming here to get their visas, their U.S. visas. He said, you got to get the facts. He said, y'all don't know why those planes are coming in here full. But here's where the problem is. Those planes are coming in here full every other day, right? And then the other days they full do. But you don't see no American Airlines full going to America. You don't see no Bahamas Air full of them going, full of Haitian immigrants going to America. You all seeing that? So Luby saying they only coming here full because they coming for visa. Well, how come I don't see them, one, full going back to Haiti? Because they will go out with 30 persons. I've seen this document for myself, the flight manifest, and come back with 130. And I don't see them pile up on the plane, on JetBlue, on American Airlines, on Spirit, on Delta, going to see Biden. I didn't see that. Farmers, these evil people are trying to sell you out. Ms. Green, you want to comment on that?
Yes, Louis George said that we don't have the information, and this is all about fear mongering, but this is the Bahamas. When it comes to this type of activity and in such a heavy load, where do we get the information from? And this is the problem I have with foreigners in this country. Foreigners in this country, along with the government of this Bahamas, they are taking away our land, They're taking away the money in the form of our sovereign wealth fund that would be the Progressive Liberal Party. But now it seems like they want to take away our voices. I have a problem with that. As a Bahamian in this country, you trying to tell me my children cannot speak up in their country. My children cannot ask questions. Asking questions is not fear-mongering. This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is the Bahamian business. We will ask questions. We will inquire, and if the freedom of information isn't out, and if the government isn't being transparent, forthwith, and coming to the public like a responsible organization that they are supposed to be, then it leaves for speculation. It's not fear-mongering. It's not hatred. Louis George, what you need to do, you need to go back to Haiti, and you need to sit up and look at what hate is. You need to look at what real fear-mongering is. This is not our culture. Hatred is not the culture of Bahamian people. Fear-mongering is not the culture of Bahamian people. This is a loving nation. And your evil, manipulative, wicked ways will not triumph over this nation. Our people need answers. When there are no questions, when the questions aren't being answered, there will be room for speculations. But in this country, my fellow Bahamians, do not allow anyone, including the government, to take away the only thing we might possibly have left, and that is our voice. They come in for our land, they come in for our money, they come in for our nationality, they taking away our sovereignty. Do not let them take away your voice. So Fred Mitchell can call us all the idiot he wants. We will push forward. See, the problem with you, Fred Mitchell, you ain't used to people standing up to you and putting you in your place. Meet the Coalition of Independence. You call us idiots? Meet the Coalition of Independence. Mr. Bean, we must continue talking to our people. We have a voice in this country. Do not allow what is going on to cause you to be silent. We have children we have to stand up for. We have grandchildren we have to stand up for. Like I said, look at what's happening. The Prime Minister said we had no natural resources. What did they do? They take away the Sovereign Wealth Fund, but guess what? They're about to have a town hall meeting to speak about natural resources. They paid trolls hundreds of dollars to shut us down, to say we are selling dreams. But look who's about to have a town hall meeting on natural resources. My fellow Bahamians, if you cannot see the light, if you cannot see what is going on, we have a problem. We have a real problem in this country. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. They took away the money. Now they're trying to take away the land. They're taking our names. And now they want to take away our voices. Stand up. Speak up. They are just men. Speak up.
Well,
Yes.
thank you so much. Well, you said a mouthful, Ms. Green, and thank you so much for that. It's time for patriotic Bahamians to stand up. If we are divided as a people and other persons are united in our country, they're going to win. A kingdom divided cannot stand. We need all of our strong organic Bahamians to stand up. That's not anything against anyone else, because I expect Haitians to be patriotic in Haiti. I expect Americans to be patriotic in America, to make sure that China, Russia, no one else takes over in their country, to make sure that Britain doesn't run things in their country. Nothing wrong with that. We have to stand up as a people because we see exactly what is going on. We have concerns with that video that was going around with Brave Davis going into shanty towns, and that is treasonous. Saying that he is one of them, that he's a Haitian, he's of Haitian descent. But I challenge all of you to look up the last name Pintard. Yes. That is not just a French name like Delaveau, which is a French name. That's a Haitian name that came out of Haiti. All right. And so that's his roots. And he refuses to answer to that. And so I challenge any of you to go and search the roots of his name. It was never a big popular name in Haiti, but it was a name that is a Haitian nonetheless. From the French, of course, slave master at the time that lived there. And when the revolution happened, guess where they fled to? They didn't flee to France. Some of them fled to the Bahamas. All right? Some of them fled to the Bahamas. From the colonial period, they used to call it Saint Domingue. All right? They call it Haiti now. So that's where the Pintard name came from. All right? And if you look, it has big history down there. From a French settler named Julien Pintard. All right? And that's recorded in the 18th century, which is the 1700s, about 1743. All right? In Croix de Bouquets. And if you study more, you're going to see that these persons, they have actual link of persons, including Mrs. Catherine Pintard, who left, and her and her young nephew escaped, and other persons, and came to the Bahamas. All right? So some of them were massacred over there, but they, some of them came to the Bahamas, and some of the slaves with that name also came to the Bahamas. All right? And so that while it's not a popular name like Pierre or Joseph, etc., the man is of Haitian descent. I'm ready for people who's going to look out for us, man.
Yes.
Yes. Because see, when you have another nationality in you, you have loyalty to it.
Yes.
My daughter lives in America, but you can't tell them people she's not Bahamian. She's in America. But far as she's concerned, don't call me no American. I have loyalty to the Bahamas. She flying the flag in the house. She's representing. So that means that's her origin that she identifies with. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with identifying with your origin. We have now a Bahamian police chiefs in Florida. He identifies with the Bahamas. There's nothing wrong with that. But just know that when you put persons in serious leadership position and they have some other background that they have an affinity to, listen to Brave's speech. He never gave a speech to Bahamians like that. He's never shown us that kind of love that I go always be there for you. You know what he said? Man, listen to me. If I have a woman tell me that, listen to me. Say, I have always been there for you. That's what Brave said, and I will always be there for you. Jesus. Ladies, if a man tell you that, marry him now. Now. He's saying me and you is one.
Yeah, he did say. I am you and you.
I am you and you.
I am you and you is me. That's all like bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
Wow.
Jesus.
And Bahamians still want to vote for that. While all around us, all we see is them catering to them. Exactly what Brave said. Yep. See, just saying it is one thing. You could say maybe it was just politicking. But when you look, you see everything working out in their favor. They are taking all of our services and taking it in the shanty town to cater to them. Oh, you don't got to come to us. We coming to you. In fact, we got pop-up immigration thing. We got Ministry of Health come to you. We coming to you. We giving you all the services. Oh, the shanty town situation. Oh, we bringing social services to you. You don't have to come to them. Bahamians got to go line up to that building in Hudson for $50 a month. But you, no. We come in to your door because we love you. Because Brave loves you. He come into your door like a man in love with a woman, and he coming to take her out on a date. and they showing up with gifts and flowers and saying $1,200 to pay your rent. My Lord. Bahamians? Oh, we ain't got it. No. Brave say this for the Asians. Service. A long line. My Lord. And Pintard and his Haitian descent, all right? Because they say he's adopted. And I ain't saying this to attack nobody, you know. I'm showing you the reality, and if y'all want to kill me for this, then so be it. But I gotta tell you the truth. That's my responsibility. If in the end, if the truth offend you, then don't vote for me. But we are hearing, and Pintard still ain't answering it, that Pintard's birth mother, his biological mother, passed away. That Miss Benson is not his biological mother. That's what we're hearing. He cleared it up easy. I can tell you anything but my parents and my grandparents and my great-grandparents. If someone asks me, Lincoln, tell us who your ma is. Well, let me point you. Who your daddy is? Henry Bean. Well, let me point you was a cook. She was the cook responsible for giving the palm tree in the Bahamas a good name. We used to go for them burgers and all that kind of stuff. All right? Market Street. My mommy also worked at Doctor's Hospital, giving them a good name. My daddy was a boat captain. All right? And then your taxi driver, after he couldn't do that no more, he was crippled. My daddy was Michael Bean. I name after him. He is from West Grand Bahama. Our property right in the back there. He was the what do you call it? The head of security at the Jack Tower, where we sitting right now. All right? He was the head of security. I own that property right now. All right? That's his daddy was Charles Bean. His daddy was William Bean. So we could do this all day. And ain't no shame, ain't no, why you going there? That's you have a right to know where I descend from. So, Pintard, we need to know who you are. Because we are tired of every time a government comes to power, they always looking out for the foreigners and not for us. It has to be because there's some foreign in them. There never has been an importance about being Bahamian. No. There's never been a significance about being a Bahamian. No.
Oh, it's compromised.
Who told you everyone else is better than us? Who told you that we have to work for the foreigners and scrub toilets? Who told you that lie? Who told you that the illegal immigrants should have rights to do things in our country that we don't have? Who told you that? And so when you see Pintard and them, and Fred Smith was born in Haiti. So he has an affinity to them. So what did you see him doing? He have affinity to them, fighting for them. So. He said, I don't blame him. He fighting for his people. Yeah. Right. How you blame a man who fighting for his people? And that's why I fight for Bahamians. Yes. How you gonna blame me for fighting for Bahamians? That's my people. Yes. Now Pintard them always fight for the foreigners. So Fred Smith, who was born in Haiti, and Michael Pintard, who was of Haitian descent, on both sides, they decide to fight for them. They put out a book, Lion. A Lion book. I have the book, but I don't have it with me right now, but I can go live again. I have the only copy left, I think, of this magazine that they went to the UN with to make it seem like our immigration bite the people with dogs and beat up the little children. They showed the children with the scars all over them. You know, that's what they did, man. And they could be walking around this country free like this. Pintard could be here talking with his leader of party.
Opposition leader.
Jesus.
Okay, come about the bottom.
Let's go deep. Let's go deep. So this Luby, who was just spreading that deception just now, was recently seen partying because one of his people reached. They say he's JP, right? And one of his people reached. They ain't come here to go over there. They come here to stay here. And he hugging up this man. I mean, listen to me. Bahamians we don't get that close. You know, I got my brother, but listen, my brother know we could dap, and you know, we might get close, but our hand can be between each other, and we ain't all up. Don't come rubbing up on me. Bahamians don't play that. Play the video called, they spell it wrong. It's called Jubi Party. It should have been Luby, but it's Jubi Party. Play that video.
It's in the bottom.
It's right here. It's right by Luby there. His boy reached.
I see the video, I didn't know it was there.
That's right. Did they celebrate? Yeah, celebrate. Oh yeah. Yeah, listen. Listen. If a woman holds me like that, I love her. Listen to me, if a man holds you like that, marry him. Celebrating, pouring the champagne because another foreigner has entered our country. We can stop playing it. Because they continue dancing, and I don't like see them kind of things. I couldn't watch Brokeback Mountain, to be honest with you. That's a celebration. Now I can show you some stuff. I also want to show you this before I go to these documents. I want you to see, show the picture of pregnant. You saw this going around this week. Picture of pregnant. These are people that they are saying Haitian descent, and they are coming in and having babies while we are not. They are, that's outside the clinic. That ain't the people inside yet, that's just the people outside. Droves of them pregnant. Bahamas, y'all gonna wake up or not? Right. Then they can start saying stuff like, "Oh, it's more us than y'all." Oh, they in such key positions, ain't nothing you could do. They don't overthrow us, so you can sit down and just lose the country. My Lord, my Lord. So, show the video. Newspaper. Newspaper. No, it's not a video, it's a picture. Newspaper. Every single week, we are saying there's almost on a daily basis, these are people getting citizenship. Show newspaper too. It's more. All right? These ain't instead applying just to get it because they was here and they reached 18. This is happening on a daily basis. All right? With the aid of the government. And these kinds of actions are causing it hard for Bahamians. All right? Now, let's get to the conversation. Before we get there, and I want you to excuse me for the language, but we have to play it the way it is. This gentleman right here that I'm gonna play for you, it's called Frankie Florida. I hope he have his own country too. Frankie Florida was invited by the Prime Minister of our country, to speak at the Dorian Memorial to remind us of how the foreign people took over Abaco, took the guns and invaded people's houses and took their houses over and raided and looted and intimidated Bahamians. Bahamians had to leave. And then had the ship start coming to Abaco, taking the furniture and packing them up on the ship and sending them to Haiti. So Brave wanted to remind us of that. And so he brought Frankie Florida. I'm not going to play him speaking. They brought Frankie Florida to speak at that memorial, which was sick. That's this Frankie Florida that we're going to pray for you. If there's any, I don't remember, if there's any foul language on here, please excuse it. But this is what our government is doing. There are many Bahamians who went through terror during Dorian that could have been allowed to speak. Many. Play Frankie full. That video, Frankie full.
And let me tell my people them of Haitian Bahamian, they say who can vote. They say we might be tout haïtien. En bas, Brave Davis, c'est Prime Minister pour peuple haïtien. Vous entendez ça, Abdullah? Votez, register pour Brave Davis. Passez avec Brave Davis, now les net. It's better under the PLP, and it's getting better. The Bahamas, you all know that.
Okay, I'm all fucking tired, asshole. Also fucking behind. Ain't this a game? And we our parents, but we different, but the same back in the day. We all could have bully us and do what y'all want to do. We different, but
travel to the Family Islands and see what all going on, and let me know. Brave Davis all day, every day.
the brave one?
Brave wave, brave wave.
So that's a man telling us who to vote for. You say you could come, you know, but don't start trying to tell us who we should vote for and influence our politics and influence our country. To worry about the Chinese too. We do worry about the Chinese, but we're trying to empower Bahamians so they don't have to be selling out their houses and buildings to the Chinese. That's what we're trying to do. Most Bahamians sell to them because they need that money. I don't see the Chinese coming on the news and telling us who to vote for. I don't see them trying to influence our elections in that way. I just don't see it. Ms. Green, go ahead.
Yes, listening to that, Mr. Bean, I often wonder, Bahamians that still support the Progressive Liberal Party, do they even realize why the Haitian population so heavily supports the PLP? Seems like the Haitian population understands the agenda that the PLP has in store for them. Because how is it that a foreign nation or so many people from a different nation supports one particular political party so heavily in this country to the point where they are campaigning for that party? Yet Bahamians support the PLP, ride the wave with Brave, riding with Brave, or whatever the terms are or the slogans are that they use. I think, for example, the Coalition of Independence says a change is here. And we identify with people what that change is and what it could be for this country. Right. But it seems that the PLP agenda and their plan has been explained to the Haitian population perfectly in this country. The Bahamians that support the PLP can't even tell you what the future plans are or the vision is of the PLP. Exactly. The only thing they're holding on to is a legacy of the late Cylinder. Long been buried. It's gone. They're not continuing on that. They're not continuing on that. But to my fellow Bahamians, to those who are still trying to figure out where they want to vote or who they want to support, ask yourself this question. Why does the Haitian population support the Progressive Liberal Party so heavily? What is it that they know that you don't know? Because as far as I'm concerned, change is here. Bahamian ownership, land ownership, resource benefits, ownership of your country, change is here. As far as I'm concerned, looking at the plan Brave Davis seemed to have for this country, he looked like he's trying to turn this country into a colony of Haiti. And it's right before our eyes. But yet we have new potential candidates stepping forward saying they want to be candidates of the Progressive Liberal Party. What is the plans of the Progressive Liberal Party? What is the vision for this country? Because a nation without vision will surely perish. And this is why the Coalition of Independents put forth their Vision 2020, their Vision 2030, their Vision 2025. Sorry, Vision 2030, Vision 2025, Vision 2030. We spoke it, we wrote it down. It's there for people to watch and it's there for people to read. But of course, the PLP, last election, the PLP said that they were going to give free internet, free electricity. We didn't see a plan for that. We just heard words during a political season, a political period. Are we still to the point where we're still falling for these things? They're not showing us what it's going to take to get us there, how they are going to get us there, and the time frame it's going to take us there. That is what we need. And that is why the Bahamian people need to start pushing for debate between our leadership. Yes, I said debate between our leadership. So, Mr. Bain, hopefully we can see you debate with the leader of this country, Mr. Philip Davis, and Michael Pintard.
They're terrified to debate with me, so they're going to try to arrange a debate for themselves between them two because they're afraid of me. So we expect that's what they're going to try to do. But yes, democracy should have them debate with me. You saw debates in Jamaica, and they had very intellectual debates. They dealt with the issues. They went through the numbers. They made them explain how were they going to do things. That is how it's supposed to be. But here in the Bahamas, they just think, listen, you go vote for them or their best friend anyway, so they ain't answering you. They don't feel they have to be answerable to you. And so that's how they operate. Now, I want to go to some documents, Ms. Green, to show Fred Mitchell, your counterpart. I want to show him how they are legally giving out passports. So let's go to the document called Renounce. Let's go to the document called Renounce. And so this document that you're seeing on the screen in front of you is a Haitian national who applied to be a citizen of the Bahamas. And the document actually, because in order to become a Bahamian citizen according to Section 9 of that strange act that they call the Nationality Act, you have to first renounce your citizenship. All right? Now, this is saying that renunciation of Haitian nationality on this 19th day of May, 2023, so this is pretty recent, appeared before us Mackley M. Ridley Jean Baptiste, counselor at the Embassy of the Republic of Haiti, to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, acting as notary public in accordance with the terms of Article 86 of the Foreign Affairs Law of September 17, 1953, concerning consular duties. For consular duties, all right? That nothing to do with citizenship laws or anything like that, right? And that's their Haitian thing. So the Haitian national has their name, we redacted it, their date of birth, their place of birth. This person was said he was born in Nassau. Their father, their mother, identity, identified by certificate of identification. Wow. The date issued and the issuing authority. So this document came from the Embassy of the Republic of Haiti. The deponent declares that she renounces his or her Haitian nationality in view of obtaining Bahamian citizenship. Here's the problem. Haitian nationality can only be renounced by going to the Department of Justice in Haiti. And a short Google could actually show you that. And so if you go to it specifically states where you have to do it in their law. It says at the Department of Justice in Haiti. And so if you go to somewhere else and renounce it, then it's not legitimate. Isn't that common sense? It's illegal. So if they say that I have to go to a notary public to get a document signed. But then I go to the pastor, who's not a notary public, to get it signed. That document is illegal, right? And so I think that this is pretty much common sense. The law is clear on that. And so I have a bunch of documents here where persons, because of time, I can't go into all of them, but we have a bunch of documents here similar to that where persons applied. We have all the receipts where they replied. We could show you all the applications. But if you're giving people passports on this, it's illegal. So you are overlooking the law and ignoring the law for your benefit. It's illegal. Your passport is given out illegally. If I am wrong, then you know what to do. Arrest me, all right, for libel, or sue me for libel. But Fred Mitchell, your government is giving out passports in this way illegally. There's another way that you are giving out passports illegally. I'm going to look on the live government website, so you won't be able to see it, but I'm going to read it to you. It's called the Bahamas Nationality Act. Yeah, I can read from that because that's what they're going by. And it says Section 9 because they're giving persons citizenship under Section 9, all right, of this. All right, and it says on here how you can get naturalization. The minister may, at his discretion, if application is made to him for naturalization in the prescribed manner by an alien of full age and capacity who satisfies him that he is qualified under the provisions of the second schedule. Remember that? If that under provision of the second schedule grants to him a certificate of naturalization, and the person to whom such certificate is granted shall, on taking the oath of allegiance in the form prescribed in the third schedule, be a citizen of the Bahamas by naturalization as from the date of the certificate. So in other words, the second schedule tells you what qualifies you to become a Bahamian under this. So that's clear, right? So if you want to be Bahamian, you got to be qualified under the provisions of the second schedule. So what do you do from here? You go and read the second schedule so that you can see who is qualified. Now, they said right after that, that you have to renounce your citizenship in order to even get to that point. So if you don't renounce your citizenship, you can't get it. All right? So that's what's right after that. But very important. So I go and write down to the second schedule. That's all the way to the box for those of you who reading, following this so you could do it. So the second schedule, section 5 and 9, qualifications for registration or naturalization. All right, this the people getting our passports. So they talk about the qualifications to get it, to get your citizenship. Watch this. I can read all of this because I think Bahamians need to know this. Subject to the provisions of paragraph 2, the qualifications for registration as a citizen of the Bahamas, of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, of a Commonwealth citizen or a British protected person, or for naturalization of an alien who applies, therefore, that's the qualifications. A, that he has either actually resided in the Bahamas or been in the service of the government of the Bahamas, or partly the one or partly the other, throughout the period of 12 months immediately preceding the date of application. 12 months. 12 months. All right? 12 months. And, so that means it's both. And that during the 9 years immediately preceding that said period of 12 months, he has either actually resided in the Bahamas or been in the government service, as aforesaid, for periods amounting in the aggregate to not less than 6 years. Disqualified. So, in 7 years, an immigrant, even if they wasn't living in the Bahamas, if they used to go back and forth in aggregate for 7 years, because that's the 12 months preceding, and then another 6 years, peace, they could become a citizen of this country. I told everyone that after that last election, I said those who are brave them bringing in now, not by this election, But by the next election, they're going to be qualified to be citizens of this country according to their nationality act. All right? Right. So it's illegal, but they're using it, right? So if you ain't willing to fight, then you got to understand what the laws are. So within that short period of time, they now legally, illegally, become citizens of the Bahamas. This is the last election, because we're being flooded, that Bahamians are going to be the majority. You saw the Department of Statistics say that this is the first time that the population growth was less by births and more by persons just coming in. They announced that for the first time. So we are being flooded by, and that birth, remember the birth that we have in? Only 20% or less of that is actual Bahamians. So we're being outnumbered by birth and by persons flooding into our country. And Bahamians are sitting back and letting Pintard and Brave Davis sell this country out. This is the last election we're going to have the majority. Unite, Bahamians, unite. This is your last chance. If you are afraid to stand up and fight for this country, you are going to lose it. You see it, that's it there in writing. I'm telling you where it is. You can't see it on the screen, but I'm telling you where it is. Nationality Act, this is second schedule. C, that he is, in the opinion of the minister, of good character. So you got to be of good character. So not someone like Luby them who go and lying, doing books and lying on the Bahamas. That ain't good character. All right? Not someone like, what's the fella name? Frankie, who would do a voice cursing out Bahamians and tell them they dumb and stupid.
You need to go.
All right? D, that he has a sufficient knowledge of the English language. Oh, Jesus, what? Hold on now. Hold on. C, that he has a sufficient knowledge of the English language and the responsibilities of a citizen of the Bahamas. What?
Nobody follow your application to put it to test.
What? So if you find any immigrant who has a Bahamian passport and cannot speak English, it's illegal.
They're right.
This, their law. You challenge their citizenship at the polls if you have to. They are not legit. You don't forget English. So if you see anyone who has a passport and doesn't speak any English, they receive that passport illegally. They are selling our passports like candy. Now, how many of you Bahamians out there have experienced those kind of people with passport and they don't speak sufficient English? That doesn't give a caveat or a side door to say, oh, their mummy was born there and their daddy was born there, or they didn't give a caveat to say, if after 18 years you've been here and you don't speak English, you could apply, you know. But if you don't speak English, you don't qualify. So that's where the problem comes in. I have a passport. See you all later. God bless you. I have a passport. I sent it to you, producer. I want you to play the picture of that passport. If you have it available. The passport that I sent you via WhatsApp, because we don't have it in the system. All right. Let's see if we have that one. If you don't have it, then I'll go to this other Asian doc where they gave the person their citizenship before they renounce. All right, that is a caveat where they say it is a condition, but no, you should renounce first and then get it. All right, so producer, if you don't have it lined up, go to Haiti documents. Haiti documents, pull that one up. Pull that one up. Haiti documents. Oh, you have the video. Some police officers, as you can see that police route in there, some police officers found this person, right? This this document that this person has is a Bahamian passport. This person could not speak a lick of English. One of the police officers could speak Creole, so that's how they was able to talk to him. And they was locking this fella up with it, like, how you get this passport and you can't speak English. And it's saying that it's calling his what do you call it? Citizenship Bahamian. There's so much mixed up in this country going on. Yeah, keep playing that while I look at this. I just want to get a closer look at that. So this is a passport that a police officer found, and it's saying that, yeah, it's saying this person is Bahamian, but it's saying that they were born in Port-au-Pay. They born in Port-au-Pay. Now most of their passport they'll call them Asian, and that's another document. I'll get to that right now. Hold it, leave it on the screen. Right? They saying he born in Port-au-Pay. But the passport ain't got, Haitian, it got Bahamian. And he can't speak a lick of English. A lick. The police officer called the senior people and they said, listen, leave them people, man. So it's like it's a lackadaisical attitude. So the document you just saw on the screen was another individual who applied for their citizenship. It says nationality Haitian, all right? Citizenship certificate, naturalization from Section 9, which we just read, all right? And they paid $100 for this. We have the receipt and everything. And so it says approval is granted on the condition that it is accepted no later than 1 year from the date of this letter. Otherwise, they'll take it. So they given you this citizenship. The approval is granted for this citizenship. All right? It's granted. So you straight. All right? You just got to accept within a year. So that just tells you this person got that citizenship, right? They straight. Okay. They tell them how to get the money by doing cash and go, Canoe, Omni, and all these people, right? But on here, they are telling them that, let me see where I can see it. Payment. Okay, go to the other document, the last page. That's Haiti Doc 2. Haiti Doc 2. Go to that document.
This request is today. Please specify what you want.
Talking to me. Okay, so to the bottom of this document, it says submit proof of renunciation of all other citizenships in the original and submit 2 passport size photographs. How did he get this approved before he did the renunciation? This in writing. You're supposed to renounce before you could even be considered. How is this document saying approved and you're renounced yet? It's ridiculous. And that's from, well, I'll stay away from, that's from the immigration, all right? This is the kind of stuff that is going on in our country right now. This is sickening. All right? And we have a lot of documents, but we've been going for a long time, so I think I better leave it there. But that's renunciation. That's persons who cannot speak English, but they have our passports. And we have all kinds of documents. I mean, I have the audio and the videos here from Keith Bell, just to remind you, at the funeral. Last of the documents I want to show you before we go is these documents where Keith Bell apparently gave these people status. And the immigration was saying this out of order. So the documents, these don't have names, these have some general letters. So the first one I see in front of me is, it has 3BA42. It starts with 3BA42. You could play that one, put that one on the screen first, and I can show them what it is. 3BA42 is the first part of that name. All right, that document, 3BA42. All right, 3BA42. That's a little picture. Small, yeah, that one right there. All right. So this document is from someone who applied for status in the Bahamas. His name is Ferdinand Merklin. Ferdinand Merklin. Place of birth, Port-au-Prince. All right. Nationality, Haitian. All right. This document, it says subject arrived. This is a report, and they have C attached document. This is a report on this person, right? It says subject arrived in the Bahamas on the 30th of June, 20, I guess it's 19, right? And was landed for 90 days. He received an extension until the 20th of the 1st of January, 2020, all right? And was arrested on 11/10/2020 for overstaying. So they always come, then they extend, and then they extend again, and then try to get status in between there. So this money making for the politicians, giving them status straight through. Now the man was deported on October 16, 2022. On October 16, 2022, he was deported. You're listening? It says work permit was approved on the 17th of October, 2022. He was locked up in the detention center. He came here on a visa, overstayed his visa, and was locked up like he should be, and somehow applied for work permit while in the Bahamas. And you're supposed to apply for work permit outside of the Bahamas. And this is an official immigration document with their signature on it. And it says the work permit was approved the day after he was deported. He was deported. It says he was deported on the 16th of October, 2022, but his work permit was approved on the 17th the next day, 2022. So someone make a call. Hold on, but watch who it says approved it. Wait, watch who approved it. It says by the minister, Keith Bell. So the dude deported out of the country, and then the next day, Keith Bell approved a work permit for him. This is the kind of nonsense that's going on in this country. That's why America has a problem with us. I can finish reading. Go on, come right now. It says no decision letter is scanned, meaning they're supposed to have a decision letter to show that he went through the process, has a decision letter, and is issued to the person. No decision letter was granted. It was scanned, issued, and collected. All right. He says, please note. Oh, he says, no decision letter was scanned. It was issued and collected on the 18th of October, 2022. So he's deported on the 16th, get it approved on the 17th, and pick up the thing. He picked it up on the 18th. How you get back here? No, they know that he was deported. They sent him out. All right? No. This immigration people, this inside people, we know they deported them, and they wrote this against the minister because they was hot at what was going on. Yes. They deported him. How the hell 2 days later he come into them to pick up? This man was on Bahamas Air out the country. Go ahead.
So, this particular guy, he's about.
I don't know if he's a government operative, but he's a customer of corrupt politicians, apparently. Yeah. Now, watch the last part of this letter, though. Hey, come right now. It says, please note that instructions were given to restrict this individual, that he was put on the block list. So they're trying to figure out how he get back in this country to pick up
Wait a minute.
a work permit.
On the block list.
And Keith Bell, this here in writing, signed by Chief Immigration Officer. What is this? Brennan. All right, Al Brennan. And this was signed on the 28th of October 2022. And he said, see attached documents, which we can see right now. So in other words, the man was deported on the 16th of October. Keith Bell, right here, gave him it the next day, gave him a work permit. And then on the 18th, he was back in the Bahamas to pick up that work permit. How he get here without having the work permit? How he get in the country? How did he get in? And he was put on the restricted list, this officer is saying. All right? This is an official immigration document. You have a question, go ahead.
So, renunciation. Do they have to, if a Haitian decide to renounce their citizenship?
Talk loud, because people hear you.
Do they have proof of their renunciation? Do they record this or something they?
Who they? If immigration records it, they're supposed to have a file for each one of these persons. So when it's time for us to go and audit, there's supposed to be a file with each of them. If you're missing out your file, you're in problems. But the renunciation can only happen at the Department of Justice in Haiti. There's no Department of Justice in Haiti right now. Haiti's government is collapsed. So you can't. So what they're doing is they are using the embassy, which is unlawful. All right? So you cannot denounce by the embassy. So let's go to the next document. In fact, no, I won't go to any more documents. We've been going long. We have a slew of documents, just like the one you just saw, somewhere immigration officers said the minister made them do it. They went to the point of saying the minister made them do things. And Fred Mitchell could be around here walking around like they decent people.
I'm serious.
Like they decent? Keith Bell could still be, any Bahamian who votes for Keith Bell hates this country. See, if you love your party, you want to vote for your party, so be it. But if you vote for Keith Bell after what he did, and guess what? He was doing this for Brave them, you know. That's why Brave didn't touch him. With all this evidence and evidence we have here, but I out of time, they just transfer him. You wanted to ask something?
Yeah, you just confirmed, in fact, you just proved it must be a high office that's proving all of it and making this happen. Your case was right to the point, and it proved that case.
I wish I had more time to go through all of these other documents because they would shock the Bahamian people. I guess I could push that to next week, and we could go through more of these documents. But Fred, they asked for this, right?
Yeah, they are.
Now, I can stay here till tomorrow on this live, and I could just drop documents on them.
Get it, Fred.
As y'all can see, I got a pile of documents in front of me.
Get it.
Digital. All right? I got more passports for persons who don't speak a lick of English.
You have a passport, the guy who had a born-on date, but an expiry date or something like that, born-on date when he went there and you need him on.
Yes. Yes.
His passport wasn't complete.
Yeah.
Either did not have a born-on date or did not expire. What kind of sense?
So, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot open the phone lines today because we've been going so long, but we just wanted to get some of that stuff out. We needed to make sure that the investigation with Lynx is going properly. You all know I love to take questions and that kind of stuff, but this one went on for too long today. But we'll definitely be back next week to do some more of this. Ms. Green, I don't know, are there any announcements that we need to make for this week that need to go out there?
No, not at the moment. Our pole training, and I just want to say again, congratulations to the South Beach Association on their branch opening. That was a very beautiful day. A lot of people showed up. It was beautiful. We're also just waiting on the announcement because a lot of people are asking. We're just waiting on the announcement for funeral arrangements for, of course, your sister, Mr. Bain, George Hales, his brother, and of course, Mr. Lynx Jones. So these are the updates that our people in the organization are waiting for.
Thank you so much.
But until we find out all of this information, we won't be able to put any events on the calendar.
Okay. And so to say a special happy birthday to Liliano Jr., the son of Liliano Sr. And we just want to say I have a special birthday, and we hope you enjoy. He's been a fan all of his life of the COI, all of his life. He's a COI baby. I see some message here, Eyewitness News. They trying to prop up these politicians with their nonsense. Eyewitness News has something here with Pintard saying call for transparency. How could the F&M be calling for transparency? The F&M, want to call it the F&M who hid the Dorian supplies, calling for transparency.
And then auction off in the harbor. Yeah. But I'm still high up in Africa because the guy showed me the ground.
Yeah, some of them still high.
Still high.
Wow. Call for transparency. And he's called on Philip Wave Davis to present a clear operational plan following the U.S. decision to designate its Nassau embassy as a visa processing site for Haitian nationals. Pintard, this has been happening. They have been using the Nassau, the U.S. embassy in Nassau to do this. Pintard, you know that. All right? Why didn't you use this press statement to speak up against the illegal invasion of this country? Because that's your people?
You've been in the church too, with bread? All right.
You've been
in the church too. And I'll go.
So, Pintard, we're not interested in the sad stories and you pretending to care about these issues now. We're not interested. All right? You need to explain who you are. Even in Jamaica, during the debate, they asked the opposition leader, yeah, the PNP opposition leader, they asked him to prove his papers because he had a British passport and didn't have a Jamaican passport. All right, even though he had status in Jamaica because the parent was Jamaican and the parent was British. And they're like, but you can't be serious about this country. And Jamaicans don't play. On that alone, as much complaints they have with the government, on that alone, amongst other things. But on that, they said, listen, you don't belong here. We are Jamaican first. And if you didn't see until now the importance of getting your passport, you only get your passport now because you want to run? You want to be Jamaican now? They rejected him with all his nice talks. All right? Bahamians, reject them. Tell Pintard we are waiting on his birth certificate. And we don't want just one that because you was in government, y'all were quite able to go change them documents. We want your birth certificate and your proof that you was born in PMH. That's what we want.
Or in the house.
Or somewhere. All right? That's what we want. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the response of the police. Hopefully they could get this thing serious. We're not going to let this go. We're going to continue doing what we have to do. And we're going to continue standing up and fighting for our one nation that we have. We don't have another country to go to. We are under siege. The only organization that is going to stand up and fight for Bahamians is the COI. C-O-I. We do not hate Haitians. No. We do not hate Jamaicans, Chinese, or anyone else. Nobody. We just love the Bahamas. And we can't let nobody take this over. It's simple as that. No one should take over Jamaica. Jamaicans should run Jamaica. No one should take over Haiti. Haitians should run Haiti. Bahamians should run the Bahamas. The Bahamas should be for Bahamians. No one should come here and drop a bunch of babies and use those babies to take over our country. That's wrong. We're going to stand up. And so I want to thank you for your continued support. We appreciate you, we love you, and we're doing this because we love you. And we will never stop fighting. Last thing I want to say before we go, got to get this one in there. Show the picture, Pintard meeting. Show that right there, Pintard meeting. It's for you, Pintard. Explain this. Someone crop this out and put it on TikTok or send this to him or something. The picture that says Pintard meeting. This boat right here, a few days ago, Pintard was in this boat at Old Bahama Bay. At Old Bahama Bay. I was sitting right behind this boat. Pintard didn't know I was sitting right behind this boat. I took that picture with my own phone. Pintard was in this boat, the same boat. And this boat is called the Frigate. Pintard was having a meeting with Mr. Carl Allen. Mr. Carl Allen is the one who, remember before the last election, I told everybody that we have treasure in the Bahamas. That was a lot for people to believe. And that Carl Allen got the agreement. They gave him 75%, gave the Bahamas 25%. And that's kind of robbery. And we even see where they collecting that. They found 13 treasure ships, and they announced it like 2 days before the election. But we never heard back from that ever since. And each of those ships was worth over $1 billion each.
Whoa.
All right. Now, Pintard is meeting with him because they have a problem with the PLP government, because the PLP government, because I was putting pressure, is now telling this company that they want more of the percentage. All right. And so Pintard there, so he's mad with the PLP. And so Pintard is meeting with them, and Pintard met on this boat at Old Bahama Bay in West End, Grand Bahama, and made the deal for him to be funded by these people so that he could repay them after the election, allegedly.
Yeah. Okay. You want to see that bomb? You want to see the picture? The image. You don't believe your eyes, no? Not your eyes, your eyes.
Put the camera on me. Michael C. Pintard, you are not going to sell this country out to the highest bidder. We can fight for this. We can stand up and we can fight for this. You can make as much deals as you want to make with these people, but we can fight for this. This is a new woke Bahamian populace. We can fight for this. So just so you all know, Brave Davis, now you know, Pintard was on that boat, the Frigate, which is Carl Allen's boat. That's the boat they go fishing in. And he was having a game show called Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, that's right.
And so before election, I told you all about all of the deals that was being made with criminals. People didn't believe me. They were like, why is he saying this stuff? I said what I said, and people didn't understand. Now they're seeing it. Criminals are getting contracts, and America's concerned about that. Money laundering. Criminals are getting contracts to build buildings and all this, build housing and all this kind of stuff. I told you all, but you didn't listen. Everything I say turns out to be the truth. Everything. I'm telling you that Pintard is selling this country to the highest bidder. It's going to be worse than when Brent Simmons at them before was raping and robbing, and in the first year getting $60 million in contract. That's a joke to what Pintard is lining up right now. The Port Authority is going to give him a bunch of money so that they can rule. And they're going to drop an iron fist on y'all in Grand Bahama. Remember, y'all screenshot this and remember me warning you, Grand Bahama. They're going to fund Pintard so that they can finally rule. Brent Simmons and all them, they are lining up to fleece this entire nation. There will be nothing left. Pintard and Fred Smith and them, notice Fred Smith and them going quiet? Now, Fred Smith was fighting these people in their rights all this time. How come the shutting down's breaking down, all this stuff happening, but he ain't saying a word? Because the deal ain't made. They putting their man in power, who was Pintard, and then you're gonna see who run this country. If they were stopping the illegal Haitians from being deported, you could have a see. The illegal Haitians, they were stopping them from being deported. They was taking it to court. They were stopping the China from being broken down. Imagine when they get their puppet in the seat. That's why they quiet. Y'all don't let Pintard fool y'all. Remember, I warned you, you know. Don't come crying afterwards.
You can always want, always.
Don't come calling me for no protest if you put Pintard there. Sit down and you take it.
Take your lashes.
Sit down and you take it.
5 years and lashes dripping. Master here.
Because I could understand Ingram tricking you, Perry tricking you, even Minutes. You thought he was going to bring a little change. He almost tricked me too. I can understand Brave tricking you because you just had 1 minute gone. But Pintard? Seriously? Pintard? Pintard? Y'all wake up, eh? So that boat right there, Pintard was on that boat. Remember, I told you all before the last election, I told you all, Brave was on not that particular boat, but another boat that Carl Allen have. Brave, C.A. Smith, and I think it was David Wallace, right? The other one. That's David.
What?
Yeah, the F&M. Yeah, I think it was David Wallace. There's 3 of them. Not sure now about David Wallace. It might have been him, but it was 3 of them. Definitely Minnis and C.A. Smith was on that boat, and I told you all the exact deal that was made. I told everyone. All right, this stuff don't make the news because the news only allowed to cover certain things. All right, Pintard didn't take no one else with him because he's a one man. Whatever he say goes. You all need to understand that, man. Y'all go feel. Minnis took C.A. Smith with him and took others with him. Pintard was on the boat by himself, cutting the deal. And the workers on that boat had to stay in the restaurant. All right? They couldn't even go in the boat. One man was sitting in the back, a bodyguard for other people was sitting in the back of the boat. All right? It's a foreign man. And the other crew from the boat had to sit in the restaurant across from it. And they couldn't go, and they tell us that. They couldn't go on the boat. Because Pintard was in there with Carl Allen. Sure? Could be in trouble.
So listen, but
Y'all could be in trouble.
see the play, see the facts.
If you let the man get in, if you don't fight, if you don't spread the message that the PLP and FNM is done and you let the man get in, don't cry. Take it.
Just fight it for them.
God bless you all. We love you. We're going to see you next week at 5. We're going to be live in studio. So those who want to join us in studio, we'll be there. And you can join us to be a part of our live. God bless you. See you next time.
Today, you said you wrote something that was
Definitely welcome every one of you to this great and auspicious occasion. COI ain't playing. Tell somebody we're getting stronger every day.
If we still call ourselves a Christian nation, we have to let us desperately pray and seek God's vision for this great Bahama land.
Today is a very special day for the Coalition of Independence. Every day is a day we are creating history within this organization and this country.
I am overwhelmed because I can't believe 1 year from my started to now, I'm here.
So may we continue to trust in God, and may God continue to bless the Bahamas.
So come go with me. We're going to the new Bahamas.
Hey! With the people, and the people have said they tired. They have said they're ready for change.
We just want to congratulate you on opening of your new office.
Enthusiastic about living in South Beach and helping to make the change in South Beach, because change ain't coming, change is here.